Fridays are awesome. I'm Carl Azus for CNN Student News. Officially, Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China. It's not independent from the communist country. But under an agreement that dates back to 1997, China promised it would not force its socialist economic system on Hong Kong and that the region would stay highly autonomous, meaning it would make its own decisions on everything but international and defense issues. There are a number of people in Hong Kong who want full independence from China. There are also those who say Hong Kong shouldn't be separated from China. For its part, China's concerned about a growing independence movement in Hong Kong, and it's called on officials in the region to keep the peace.
Hong Kong and mainland China, one country but two very different systems. Hong Kong runs its own finances, education, immigration policy, and judiciary, and people in the city enjoy basic rights like freedom of expression and freedom of the press, rights that people in communist mainland China do not have. Before the UK handed Hong Kong back to China in 1997, it worked out a deal that allowed Hong Kongers many of the rights they enjoyed as British subjects for 50 years after the handover. The term "one country, two systems" is the crux of Hong Kong's de facto constitution, known as the Basic Law. It's supposed to guarantee the city a high degree of autonomy from China, but there's growing concern that China is not honoring the deal. In 2014, Hong Kong saw its largest demonstrations in decades, mass protests over how the city's top leader is elected. Activists say the Basic Law allows Hong Kongers the right to develop their own democracy and to hold free elections. But Beijing insists it has complete jurisdiction over Hong Kong and must pre-approve all candidates who stand for the top post. There have also been protests over the erosion of press freedom and what activists say is Beijing's interference in Hong Kong's local political matters. All proof, activists say, that Beijing is increasingly imposing itself on the city's affairs. The one country, two systems arrangement was supposed to be in effect for 50 years after the British handover. But many here are worried their most basic freedoms are already being stripped away.
In the Middle Eastern country of Iraq, about 2/3 of the population is Shia Muslim and 1/3 is Sunni Muslim. The country's second largest religion is Christianity, but at an estimated 0.8% of the population. Though Christianity came to Iraq in the 1st century AD, the number of Christians there has dropped from millions in the 20th century to a few 100,000 today. The U.S. has blamed the ISIS terrorist group, known locally as Daesh, for committing genocide, mass murder of Christians and other minority groups. But many Christians left Iraq before ISIS came.
Christianity cannot die here. We are people of hope. But, of course, for a family who had everything and in one overnight lost everything, it's very difficult to keep hope, keep faith. And this is our challenge. We can estimate Iraqi Christians before 2003 around 1 million. Targeting Christians, they didn't start it with Daesh. Daesh is the most violent and barbaric, but it started even since 2003. We are being pushed out. The textile of Iraqi community was broken based on sectarian and cultural identity. So we need to bring the people together. To defeat Daesh militarily is not enough for our people to return back and to feel home and to build a future. The big question is, what are the guarantees that it will not happen again? We are concerned that the Western countries, led by the states, that, okay, Daesh is defeated on the ground, mission is done. No. Mission will start indeed after that. And by this mission I mean to give the hope and to strengthen the hope and give the guarantees for the people that they have a future. We don't want our church to be museums. but living church. Not only for the faithful or Christian faithful, but for all the community. And this is our mission, to keep our hope alive.
Staying in the Middle East, the Dead Sea is shrinking. Located between Israel and Jordan, it's one of the saltiest bodies of water in the world. It's called dead because it's so high in salt and minerals that plants and fish can't survive in it. An environmental group says the lake is drying up by more than 3 feet per year. In 2015, Israel and Jordan agreed to a $900 million deal to try to fix the problem. They're building a canal from the Red Sea to the south to the Dead Sea. This would allow the countries to pump water into the shrinking lake. The project is estimated to take 3 years, and it's not clear yet if it'll work. But it's an example of how people are trying to fix a problem that people caused.
This is the old Lido Hotel, built on the shores of the Dead Sea.
No one was around to see King Herod's view, but many middle-aged Israelis remember walking through this once swank lobby and right into the waves.
The Dead Sea is way, way down there. My goodness, are you serious? So where the water line was where?
The water line was actually right at the steps. The demise of the Dead Sea is completely man-made. This is not climate change. This is not an act of nature. The demise of the Dead Sea is taking place under government license.
He shows me a mural of an old Crusader map of the Jordan Valley, and it's a great way to get our bearings, to understand that it all begins in the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus took that famous walk across the waves. That is the main source of the River Jordan, and for centuries it flowed into the Dead Sea with enough force to keep up with rapid evaporation under that scalding sun. But in the last 50 years, warring neighbors began draining the Jordan.
Israel took half of the River Jordan, another quarter from Syria and another quarter from Jordan.
So there is no one villain in this man-made disaster. It is a simple equation of too many people and not enough cooperation. As we drive down, down, down below sea level, ears are popping. We see a liquid victim of all that conflict. A lake unlike any other, smooth as blueberry yogurt. Just imagine the elation of ancient travelers seeing it for the first time. Water in the desert. But then they got close and crunched across a bizarro beach of salt, and instead of cool refreshment, found a thick mineral soup that stings the eyes and burns the tongue. No wonder that for centuries the Dead Sea filled visitors with dread.
They say that splashing any of the Dead Sea in your face is a sensation not unlike being pepper sprayed. Or salt and pepper sprayed, I suppose. And so, one must ease into the warm and viscous water, which feels like 90 degrees and almost slimy. But the floating, amazing! You need a bit of core muscle to keep from flipping over, but otherwise, if not for the blowtorch sun, you can almost nap out here. Now, getting out brings the instant urge to shower. So for most, this is a been there, done that kind of experience. But for hundreds of thousands of people a year, this is not entertainment. It is medicine.
Well, there's jumping rope, then there's double dutch, then there's this.
3, 2, 1, go!
And go they did. You can't just credit the jumper for setting the new Guinness World Record for most double Dutch style skips in 30 seconds. It took a Japanese team with lightning feet and lightning hands to complete 129 skips. The record wasn't actually given until it could be verified with slow motion, because if you've been roped into recording a rope record, you can't make an accurate record if you skip a skip. The first step is a step-by-step count that counts on a quick turn of a turn-by-turn turn of the rope, and once the old record is defeated by a feat of the feet, the shoes are a shoe-in for a shoe-fire shootification that's officially amazing. I'm Carl Azus. We are off the rest of the week and hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you Monday when CNN Student News returns.